Dream home. Never heard of it. The description says a woman murders anyone who comes between her and her dream home. Alright. It also says it's gory. Alright. Let's watch. Imagine, if you will, you're a small child and you live in a low income apartment with your brother, mom, dad, and uncle. And you're a typical kid, life is okay. And every evening for dinner, you have to go get your uncle, who was a sailor his whole life, and so he wanders out to go stare at the bay. So you wander out and have to find him and drag him home every night. And then one day, because whoever wants to build a bigger, better housing for richer people to live, they evict your butt and they knock down the homes. And you vow, someday I will buy my family a flat that overlooks the harbor so that everyone's happy and Uncle John or whoever doesn't go wandering off into to look at the ocean or the bay every evening. But then, stuff happens. Life is hard. Mom dies before you save up enough money to buy your apartment. You're working 2 jobs. You've got your eye on the perfect place, too. It's stupid expensive, but damn it, this is your lifelong dream. Dream! You're working 2-time jobs. You're sleeping with a married guy, trying to get some money from him. He's not that accommodating. And your dad is sick now, and he's got medical bills, and because he was a construction worker, had been inhaling asbestos his entire life. And because Dad didn't tell you that he visited the hospital and didn't go back to the follow-up appointments, he was already declared sick, so the insurance won't cover his medical expenses, which are astronomical. How are you ever going to get enough money to buy this awesome flat that overlooks the harbor? Well, one night, Dad is having a coughing fit. Something like that. You go in to give him oxygen and then think, no, Dad, this is your fault. And you don't give him his oxygen. And he goes, and he dies. But he has a life insurance policy. That insurance policy, plus the 2 jobs you've been working, and the savings you've been saving up your whole life, and the sugar daddy income, such that it is, add that all together, and you've got the down payment, and you should be able to afford that flat. Success! Stick with me, I'm going somewhere with this. It's actually related to the movie. And you get the check and you got the down payment, you've paid the down payment, all you have to do is go sign the papers, and there's traffic, and you're 20 minutes late because of that damn traffic, and you get there, and the sons of bitches have changed their mind. They're not going to sell you the apartment. In fact, they're willing to give you back your deposit double. Because you see, that market, that crazy market, is up and down, and they think that, you know what, they could get a lot more money than you were offering. So they're returning your deposit 2-fold. They won't listen to reason. They don't care how long this has been your dream, how hard you've worked. You've worked hard. You earn this. You deserve this. It's not fair. What can you do? What can you do? If only there were something, some action you could take, something that was within your power, something you could do that would lower the property value. That might make them change their mind and say, yeah, okay, let's sell to the person who's willing to buy. Maybe if someone, oh, I don't know, indiscriminately killed a bunch of people in messy, gory ways. Let's just, say, for instance, that a security guard had a zip tie stuck around his neck so tight that he couldn't even get his finger under it, and he went after an X-Acto knife and started scratching at the damn thing, but ended up just cutting the crap out of his neck, and then dug into his neck under the zip tie to try and get it off, but it was too late, and he died, and he bled out on the floor in a mess. That's horrible. That's horrible. But what if there was another apartment in the same building where a woman lived, and she got a long spike through the back of the head and out through her eye socket, and her eyeball popped out across the floor. Terrible, terrible. And the other pregnant woman who lived in the flat, she was assaulted, and she had one of those garment bags stuck over her head, the kind that you stick a vacuum cleaner hose to vacuum seal, and it vacuum sealed her head into the garment bag. Awful. And the husband too. Yeah. Stabbied and broke his neck on something. That's 4 people dead. That might not be enough, though. But what's that I hear? Boom, 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 boom. Obnoxious neighbors upstairs. Maybe if all those people were slaughtered too. Maybe the cops that came to investigate them too. One's disemboweled, couple shot, one stabbed through the chest a few times, one has a bong stuck into their neck that fills with blood, one has a wooden piece of bed frame slammed into their face. Yeah. Maybe if 11 grisly murders happened, then they'd be more likely to sell. Say, yeah, there's a psychopath wandering around here killing people. We better get out while the getting's good. And, oh, she wants even less now? Well, holy biscuits, man. Better take what we can get. If something like that happened, you might have your apartment. I've just ruined the movie for you, but here's the interesting thing. The movie starts with the security guard killing, and the movie, like Tarantino's stuff, is told completely out of order. So the movie starts with this woman wandering around an apartment complex, killing the hell out of people in really wonderfully gooey ways. It's really great. Great gore gags in this film. Clappity clap, clap, clap. I actually stopped it and rewound it a couple times for some of these kills because they're just so damn good. Really nice, great gore gags, great makeup effects. There's a couple that don't quite sell, but most of them are really, really good. Highly recommended just for the gore gags alone. Now, if you told this movie like I just related it, you'd have this hour and 10-minute drama of a woman trying desperately to buy an apartment. And then you'd have gore-tastic, killy stuff at the very end. So what it does is spreads that last 20 minutes of killing everyone in the apartments throughout the entire movie. And it keeps flashing back to why the hell she's doing that. And in one way you can kind of think this was a producer note that said, yeah, people are here for the gore. They're not going to wait until the 70-minute mark, so you got to get some kills in early. And so they made it a non-chronological film just to sate the Gorehound fans. Maybe. But this structure actually really works for the movie. It can be a little confusing at first because it jumps times a lot. It starts with a kill, and then it jumps back in time, and then it jumps back in time again, and then forward in time here, and then forward to here, and then back to the kills, and then back to here, and you're like, what the heck? Wait, 2007, 2009, 1991, that would 97. So mom died in 2004, so this is 1997. So she would be. It's just, the mental gymnastics to keep all the dates and where the hell we are in the chronology can get a little confusing at times, but overall it's pretty easy to follow. I enjoyed the movie. I mostly because of the kills and the gore were really fun. I recommend it just on the gore alone. And the lead actor's performance is, I don't think I have seen her in anything, but she's got a hell of a presence. She's got a great look. I really enjoyed her performance. And it's kind of weird. This is a woman who's killing people so that she can buy an apartment. Kind of hard to sympathize with, but she makes it compelling. You just kind of want to watch her and see if she can get away with it. Not a masterpiece by any stretch, and it does struggle in a few places, but overall, I enjoyed this movie, and I recommend it exclusively to people who really enjoy fun kills and great gore. If you're a big fan of that stuff, yeah, watch it. There's some great stuff in this movie, and it's got a fun, in a good enough. I don't think the story on its own supports itself, but the kills make it worth it, I think. If you don't mind gore, but you kind of need the story to support it, probably not your movie. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. This one was fun. Again, some of the gags in this film, I rewound it to watch again. Like the one where this woman gets stabbed in the back of the head and out through the eye socket, and her eye goes flying across the floor. Really great, really great. And especially the sequence when the police officers come. I'm not gonna spoil it, but oh man. I want to spoil it. I want to just geek out about what happens, but okay, if you're gonna watch the movie, go away, because I'm gonna spoil it, and this is something that should be spoiled. It's on Shudder.com. There's a 2-week free trial. That's what I'm using. It's called Dreamhouse. Go watch it. For the rest of you, I'm just gonna geek out about this because it's so damn fun. Okay, so she kills this. There's two people having sex, and doggy style. So she sneaks up behind the guy, and he's thrusting. He's like, yeah, making the noises, and she stabs him, and he goes, ah, and she's like, yay. And she stabs him again. And the stabbing, it's CGI tip coming up, but it's actually really well done. And he's stabbing. He's and she's like, yay. And so she stabs the crap out of him and kills him. And the girl that he was having sex with is laying face down on the bed, not looking at what's behind her. And so she takes the glue-covered knife and just flicks it on her back. And so it's splatter, and she's like, oh, goodness, that was a lot. Bodily fluid jokes are great. And then she turns around and she's like, horrible knife killer, and rolls off the bed and gets under the bed, and they go after each other. And so the killer girl, she rips the mattress off the bed, and it's one of those wooden slat frames. And so she's stabbing at her through the gaps in the slats, and the girl under the bed manages to get the knife away and stab it through her foot, and she ends up breaking off one of the planks and stabbing it through the blunt end first, stabbing it through the no, it wasn't. I'm sorry, it's not the blunt end. It's the broken end, stabbing it through and you don't actually see it go into the girl's face, but you hear, and all you see is the wooden slats of the bed and the little board sticking up, going smacking back and forth like that. So she goes out because the cops come to the door, and the cops are like, we heard noises, can we come in? And she's like, no, I'm sick. And so the cops are trying to push him, but coming up from behind her is a naked woman with a board sticking out of her face and a butcher knife coming after her. Oh, it's great. It's almost the look of a bloody naked woman with a board sticking out of her face is almost something like a character you'd see in Silent Hill, like the nurses, because he's moving around like that. It really reminded me of a Silent Hill monster. Oh man, that was great. Well, it's midnight 30. I need to go to bed. See you tomorrow for another day of horror.